My name is Derek Sharp. I'm a Senior Vice President with Navigator Management Partners. And since 2010, we have been a proud Kuali commercial affiliate. And this year, as part of Kuali Days, we are honored to have and to be a platinum sponsor and to host this event. So, thank you. So, first of all, I'd like to welcome everyone to this year's 10th anniversary of KualiCo. And I'm sorry, Kuali. I apologize. We've been talking about KualiCo Steve and I have been talking about KualiCo all day. So, of the Kuali celebration. And one of the things that we want to do this evening, although over the last couple of months there's been significant change in Kuali, and a lot of us know that. But today, this evening, we would like to celebrate the past, the discovery, the growth, and also the success of Kuali, and a look towards the future as well. So before we begin to socialize and network and drink, I'd like to take an opportunity to bring some of the community leaders up here and have them say a few words. So right now, without further ado, I'd like to bring up Barry Walsh and Steve Dowdy.
Thanks, Derek. It's been a pleasure working with you these last 4 years. To quote the American baseball player Yogi Berra, it's deja vu all over again for me here. 10 years ago, Kuali got started really just as KFS, when the University of Hawaii, Michigan State, Cornell, Arizona, Delta College, the Orsmart Corporation, Nakubo, JSIG joined with Indiana University in starting what became the Kuali Financial Project. There was a great deal of uncertainty at that time. Some of us didn't even know the other people that we were going to engage with. But what I saw happen was we were blessed with leaders that had strategic vision and understood how to deal with that kind of uncertainty. And somebody taught me in my MBA management class that management, in one sense, is decision-making under conditions of uncertainty. And that's what happened and created Kuali. Nothing was certain, but they were able to make decisions and move forward. And the deja vu is, I'm seeing some of that again as we move into this next decade. There is a great deal of uncertainty. We're changing a lot of things. And I'd like to use the term certitude instead of certainty. Certainty has this implication of factual accuracy. Certitude is this feeling of assurance. I feel like it's okay. And I think what we're seeing happening in this community today and this week and in the future is some of those same kind of people who have the leadership ability to make decisions under conditions that have a lack of certitude. That's what's going to get us there, because we can't know all the answers today. There's too many details to be worked out. But if we wait for that certainty, it will just never happen. And so what I'm seeing, that my deja vu is, I'm seeing that next generation of people making the decisions to move forward under this difficult condition of uncertainty. That's my memory.
And for those who don't know me, I'm Steve Dowdy, and I'm sort of sometimes referred to as the godfather of COIAS. I used to be the father of it, but I guess I'm now the grandfather, since COIAS actually started in 1996 at MIT when I was hired, and we had a blank screen and an endless budget to do with what we wanted. And COIAS actually started off as a power builder application, for those of you remember that. And in some ways, with all the technology, I'd sort of like to go back to those good old days where you could have a monolithic installer and the world was really good. But not long after that, in 2005, MIT decided to form a consortium and try to pool resources together. And so the actual COIAS consortium started right about the same time that KFS, although we did not have a formal arrangement with Kuali at that time. Around 2006, Barry, Brad Wheeler, Steve Martin, and a few other people that had spun off the Kuali financial system visited MIT because they had heard what we had been doing there and asked if MIT would be willing to give our intellectual property to the Kuali Foundation to serve as the basis of what we now know as KualiCo. So MIT agreed, and we signed that MOU in October of 2006. Right about that time, there was this thing called Hurricane Katrina. And so we moved our COIAS user group meeting out of New Orleans, which we had always had our user group meeting in New Orleans, and we moved it to Houston, Texas. And Brad joined us that year to try to lay out what was going on with Kuali and why he wanted all of the COIAS schools to participate. After that meeting, there was a lot of mixed feelings. Some people sort of reckoned that Brad was kind of like the used car salesman coming to sell us a bill of goods. And I say that with all affection, Brad. And some people thought that it was like the shark coming to swallow the minnows up. And for a very long time, we had this kind of a split community of the old COIAS and the new COIAS. And there was a lot of talk about us and them. And slowly over time, we got past the us and them and we became we. And so I think as we kind of reflect back and we look forward to the next decade, I'm hearing a lot of people refer to KualiCo as them. KualiCo is we. We're all in this together and we're trying to make sure that we move forward together as a community. And so it's really easy right now to sort of get back and forth and talk about us and them. And so, I hope everybody will just take this opportunity to get to know everyone. Let us move forward so that we can get back to we as fast as we can and move this community forward. It's a lot of fun. It's confusing. You don't really know, you don't trust everyone, but over time we build that trust as a community and look at what we've got here. It's a great organization. So that's all I have for today.
Wow, this is great. I'm Kelli Trosvig, the CIO of the University of Washington, and this is my first Kuali Days. Woo! How many other people here is their first Kuali Days? Show of hands. This is an amazing sense of community. I'm here today to speak a little bit about Kuali community. And of course, I can't be scripted. Anybody that works for me knows that I never follow the script. And so I'd like to talk about, I'm not going to take a pot shot at Brad. I'm going to talk about Kuali community on our own campus. The University of Washington was an initial founding partner of Kuali Student. And we have had tremendous success with Kuali Student on our campus over the last 6 years. We've won a Campus Technology Award for Academic Planner. And it wasn't the University of Washington IT department that did that, but the academic advisors, the students that helped us design the program, the student tech fee that helped us fund it. Kuali Student has been a building of community between the student affairs, IT, student government, academic advisors, the graduate school. It's been a community building experience on our campus as much as it's been a community building experience in this room. The ability to develop software that really meets your students and delights your faculty members in curriculum management has been outstanding for our faculty and students. And so Kuali Student and the community that I'd like to focus on and say thank you to all of you, because many of you out there besides the UW worked in that Kuali Student community with us and helped us delight our faculty and staff and students over this last 5 years. I'd like to say thank you to all of you in Kuali Student and Kuali Rice and everyone that's helped us. Thank you so much for being part of that greater community, contributing to the University of Washington's success with Kuali Student and our partners across the campus. Thank you. And with that, I'm going to... Okay.
Hello, I'm Pat Steele, Dean of Libraries at the University of Maryland. And I'm here to be a celebrator and a cheerleader for KualiCo, the Open Library Environment. Now, you'll be glad to know that I thought about my cheerleading outfit and a lady of a certain age and decided to spare you that. So we're good. I'm going to look more professional. But this is mostly a story, sort of those of you who remember Mickey Rooney and Judy Garland, they got together and gave a show. The librarians got together and made a product. So let me give you a little context about what the library world is like for the systems, integrated systems. The market is not about higher education and academic libraries. It's about public libraries and to some extent school libraries. So our development needs just do not play in that environment. But our money does. They don't have any problem charging us a great deal of money for these systems that really don't serve us. So some years ago, with the encouragement and help of Mellon, a group of libraries got together under the lead of Duke to see if it might be possible for libraries to come together and create, as a community, a product that actually would serve our needs. After we decided that was something we might do, we looked for a home. And Kuali resonated with the values that we put forward, and so we became part of Kuali in developing our Olay product. It was resonant with our community values, with the open, with the possibility of saving money, and with being focused on the needs of a higher education group. So the good news is, after a lot of work among ourselves and with creative partners like HTC and others, we have 2 libraries up and running with version 1.5. Lehigh and the University of Chicago are up and going. They'll be followed this summer by our British partners in Bloomsbury, and then all the rest of us get in line over the next 2 or 3 years and implement. What we've shown, I think, is that if you build it, they will come. And we have the show in town for academic library systems, and it's KualiCo. Thank you.
So as we look to the future, we'll have a lot to say tomorrow morning. I'm Brad Wheeler from Indiana University and also the chair of the Kuali Foundation Board. And I will say my first email for this community goes back to December of 2003, when a note from Barry Walsh said, I'll excuse some of what it said, but it basically said not working. And just a few months later, this community was working with the August 30th, 2004 announcement that we plan to build a community and an open source financial information system. I've joked at some points that announcement rivaled the vaporware of other vendors, you know, but this community turned it into reality. So as we look to the future, that's what I will speak to. And more important than anything else, there were many skeptics that said over the last decade that certain things could not be done. But this community, you personally, whether you're a functional person, a coder, an administrator who made a commitment and a financial bet, our commercial affiliates, including Navigator, our great host tonight, you've invented what many people said higher education and commercial firms working together could never do. Move from an adversarial relationship in some contexts to something much better. And as we begin our second decade, we are here to innovate again. This conference will be remembered as the beginning of our second decade. Tomorrow morning, you'll hear from Joel Dehlin, the CEO of KualiCo. You'll see some of Joel's staff walking around. Some pretty important things happened today with some of the projects that you'll hear about tomorrow. And I could not be happier to look to this community beginning its second decade to innovate again together. And Joel, we found Joel. Joel is here.
Thank you for the last 10 years. Thank you for caring about great software. Thank you for caring about having a choice and a say in the software that you use. Thank you for your contribution to the community. We're excited with KualiCo to continue this tradition of working together, and we look forward to working with each one of you. If you don't know me, and most of you don't, then come up and say hi sometime this week, and I look forward to meeting each of you. Thank you.
That was Joel Dehlin, our new CEO of KualiCo. So I'd like to make a toast. If everyone would hold up their glass. Thank you for, and this is a toast to you, thank you for the last 10 years of collaboration, dedication, commitment, investment, and all the things that have made Kuali successful the first 10 years, and looking forward optimistically to the next 10 years. Cheers.